All right. Well, with that, thanks for joining, everyone. It's Monday, so hopefully everybody's awake and ready to hear some stuff with Leo. But before that, we'll start with Andrew. He'll give us a mortgage update, whether it's good or bad news.
That is true. So rates are still in the sixes. What I'm seeing today is there is no zero cost loans that are everyone's quoting rates that have cost to it. So if your buyers are saying, I just heard about a rate, make sure you speak to them about the cost of it, because it seems like everything that's being presented is a rate that costs money to buy. We consider a zero cost rate, we call it par. And most of this stuff is not even close to par. Now, we're still seeing most conventional 30 years, high five, sixes. ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages, generally are dropping about a half a point to 3/4 of a point, which is, I think that's, if you're talking with buyers, that's definitely where you want to kind of push them, I think, which is a little bit different than, what I was saying a year ago, 2 years ago, because under 3% for a 30-year fixed, might as well get it done, forget about it, don't worry about it. With an ARM, it is going to change at some point, and you don't know how much really until you get right up to the time where it's going to shift. You have a good idea, but you don't know exactly. So ARMs right now are really good. There's some decent 5 and 7-year ARMs that will get you through this, your buyers through this kind of unknown mortgage rate. And regardless, I think anybody getting a mortgage right now is going to be considering a refi in the next, 12, 24, 36 months, because rates will drop. And most everyone that's buying in the next 6 months and the last probably 3 or 4 will benefit by that. If you're talking with buyers, most time we don't really push the idea of an FHA loan, because it can be more expensive than a conventional loan. But what I'm seeing right now is the rates are about 7.75% lower to a point, which is, even with what they add in as a mortgage insurance fee that goes along with it. Even with that built in, we're still seeing a lower monthly mortgage payment than a conventional for the same borrower. So, we're looking at benefits are, so, talk about ARMs, talk about maybe FHA, and, let them know that, what they do today is a short-term solution to acquiring that property, and prepare them to, understand that it's going to, it's a long-term process to get down to a lower rate, because they're going to have to watch the market a little bit with rates. And, we have a house that we've been in for 14 years, and it's over that 14 years, we did just exactly that. We're down to a super low rate right now, but it does take time. So you have some talking points. Overall rates are high. Buyers are still out there. People have money. So, don't give up on that just because rates are high. Figure out what their finances are and get them in contact with your favorite, most knowledgeable lender that can figure out how to get them into a loan. Because what my goal is when I'm talking to buyers right now is, if you can afford this payment, let's do everything we can to get you the house you want. And then we'll figure out how to start to save you money on your mortgage over the next couple of years. All right. So hope that's helpful. If you have specific questions or scenarios, you can always just shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. Well, it's not great news, but it's news, and that's where we're at today. So, yeah. If you're struggling with some clients and rates and trying to get them over the hump, get them over to a lender, and maybe they need to explore some different options on their loan to get the better rate. And so, before we get started with Leo, just a couple things. I'm sharing the screen on the back office so you can see. So we're going to be posting the topics to upcoming webinars in the back office now, a few days prior. and then we'll be sending out a reminder email with a link into the back office, so you can just check to see what the topic's going to be. Mondays are still every Monday at 9. When the Wednesday webinar, I mentioned before, we're going to be doing a new format. So we're going to be doing that the second Wednesday of every month. So the upcoming one is going to be this month, May 11th. And then we're going to be going over transaction scenarios and answers to questions from the past 30 days. So basically, you know, I get lots of scenarios and stuff thrown at me, and I thought it'd be fun to, you know, periodically share some of those scenarios. Obviously, I'm not gonna name names or anything like that, but just the scenario, what the suggestion was, maybe the outcome, because they're all good talking points and things to learn from. So we'll be going over that, excuse me, this Wednesday. Other Wednesdays that, you know, topics that may come up, we're going to be using this for kind of some deeper dives into some topics, maybe some workshops, risk management stuff, Q&A sessions, discussion panels. So we've got some stuff lined up that I think is going to make the Wednesday webinar super valuable to your business, and hopefully entertaining and valuable. The other thing, if you don't know where the back office is, it's just riserealtyoffice.com. So everybody has access to it here at Rise Realty. So if for some reason you have an access issue, just shoot us a message. This is the homepage, so it's right here. You are able to join a Monday webinar direct from the back office, a Wednesday webinar direct from the back office. If you haven't joined our private Facebook group, I highly recommend doing that, because we do share stuff in there. It's a little easier for me to keep in communication with everybody through that group, rather than, you know, kind of blasting your email all the time with things coming up. It's easy just to post in the Facebook group. So if you have not joined that yet, it's Rise Realty Networking and Insights. Just request to be added. We'll add you in. If you want to look at any previous webinars, we do have the company YouTube channel. It's just Rise Realty CA. You'll see the little R logo, that's us. And we have a couple things coming up. We'll announce that later on in the month, but those will be here in those buttons. And then just one last thing real quick before we get started. If you want, there's been lots of questions about a checklist. Property does have the checklist in there, but if you want to see one before starting a file, you can click this button here. It's going to pull up a pretty simple spreadsheet for you of the transaction checklist and some additional needs depending on the type of property it is and stuff like that. So if you're looking for that, click this button here under the property button, and you will be able to find the checklist. Other than that, I'm going to turn it over to Leo. Leo's going to go over Instagram Reels for real estate agents. And I think it should be a good webinar. So I'm not super familiar with Reels, so this is going to be pretty entertaining for me. How's it going, Leo?
Yeah, going great. Good morning. How's everyone? How was your weekend?
Mine was great. Actually,
Yeah.
I got to spend 2 hours at the beach. So
Oh,
it was
awesome.
a nice weekend. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I spent my weekend battling a cough and cold. I've been loading up on cough syrup. So I have no fever. No, I just started a runny nose today, and then my cough was like all weekend. Kept me up all night last night. But I'm still gonna bring the energy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the great part about working from home is you know, you can hang in there for like a good 20 minutes and give it your all, and then collapse the rest of the day.
Yep, exactly.
But no, like I just a lot of great things happening in the market right now, you know, as far as like the marketing perspective. Last month I just got a new, you know, one of my clients actually just signed their listing. And just kind of give you a little backstory on that is the girl's a nurse, and she opted into one of my ads and got the conversation going. And her objection that she was facing was, you know, she's recently divorced, you know, she's looking to like get out of that place and, you know, move on with her life and move somewhere more closer to home or to her work. And so with this, her objection was, is there even a house in the market for me to buy? So that's what I'm seeing right now is people are kind of hesitant to sell because they don't know if they can purchase a property. So some really good content to kind of go off of is I always go, where's the objections are going? What is holding people back from making that step into in their minds? Because what we want to do with social media is we want to change the belief patterns that people have. So one of the objections is going to be, can you even find a home in this market when everything's so crazy, and they're just sitting on a home that they want to sell? So that's one idea to create content on. And I would literally probably create maybe 5 pieces of content throughout the week, kind of showing different scenarios and how they can overcome those objections. So that's one thing. And then just recently we had another listing that's almost signed from another client and from one of the ads. And this person actually wants to just get rid of his rental property, and he wants to just retire full time. He doesn't want to deal with the hassle and the stress. So what I would do is maybe think about painting a picture of a dream of if you're thinking about selling real estate because you just want to, cash out on it, maybe have some things on what can you do so you're not taxed so much on it, how you can roll that stuff over. That may be more in the mortgage territory, but maybe give some ideas on what people can do after they sell a property if they're looking to get rid of something. So when you create content, it's almost like you want to create the content knowing the results that you're shooting for. If you're just focusing on buyers, and yeah, you're going to create content that are more buyer centric. If you're trying to get more listings, you're going to be working on content that is actually addressing those concerns and those objections. So those are the 2 listings that we have kind of working on with the marketing that I've seen, because I'm just so hands-on with my agents that I work with that I want to keep that pulse on the market where it's going. So that way the ads are also trying to get people to opt in because we want them to take that step and start the conversation, which is really the number one step. Is an ad isn't really necessarily to close. Like, you're not trying to close a deal on your first conversation. When an ad comes in, we're just trying to build awareness, get that curiosity taken care of, and then get them into the process of having the conversation. The conversation piece for the agent is then to just book the appointment. Just book the appointment. Even if they're asking for a home valuation, you can spend your time making one, or you can just try to book the appointment to get the assessment down. And then the last piece is actually, when you're on the appointment, build the dream. Whatever they're shooting for, you want to find out those objections and then go for the dream. So that's just kind of wrapping it all up. But let's go into diving into these reels and show you how easy it is, because it's not that hard. So with Instagram, we all know, well, maybe some of you don't, but Instagram is actually catering more video content than actually posting. Because when Instagram came around, it was all about posting the best pictures, post your best pictures. That's where all the Instagram influencers came in and just wanted to, basically Instagram is not reality. And as we all know that what you see on Instagram isn't really the reality of it, but I think we all go on Instagram looking for that dopamine rush of what does a dream look like what can I get inspired with today. And so I'm going to show you some tactics on how you can help build people's dream and help them to, if they follow you, it's because they like your content and they like you and they like the dream that they're being sold to. And some people are probably like, oh, you know what, like, that's just not how I do it. I'm going to show you how you can make it authentic to you, where it's not really going out of your way. It's more along the lines of just using the tools you have, and the tools meaning your phone and your environment, to help just show the best light on what you're doing at the time. So with Reels, it's pretty simple. I'm going to do a screen share so you can see my phone, which will actually stop other screen sharing. Let me hook up my phone real quick. And the reason why we do Reels is because, like I said, Instagram is going more towards, hold on, I gotta tap screen mirroring, which I gotta find. Where is my screen? Oh, there it is. I can't drive and talk at the same time, otherwise we'll get lost. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed the exit.
Uh,
Unable to connect. Okay, let me try this again. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, so with, you can see all my social media accounts. And for the record, if you don't have a true social account, there it is. It's up and running. You can create an account. And yeah.
actually, I don't see.
What's that? You don't see what?
I don't see the screen actually.
Oh, you don't? That's weird.
It says that you've started sharing the
And
screen.
there's nothing.
There it is.
I see it on my end. Let me try it again. Maybe there's.
Okay. Maybe third time's a charm.
Yeah, let me try it again. See it?
Just says that you've started screen sharing, but it's not showing up.
I'm gonna give it a second because sometimes there might be a delay, but hopefully there isn't.
I'll look at the controls real quick. Actually, you have all those.
Still no screen?
No.
Let me try to plug it in directly.
That's the whole webinar. We really need that. All right, so Leo's going to try and figure that out. Back on what he was talking about as far as the story you're telling. I think it's super important to do that when you are trying to build any sort of following on social media. And, I like to say, create your ideal client. So if you're really trying to get some listings coming up, which I think it's a really good time right now to try and solicit listings, because there's lots of second home. There we go. There's lots of second homeowners, investors, and things like that might be thinking about selling right now. So, try to dial in on kind of what's happening in your market. We had a week or two ago, we did the webinar on where to find the data, and who's selling. Are people moving out of state? Are people downsizing? Is it the investors? And start creating that message within, if you're going to use reels possibly after this. But that's the content you want to be putting out there to create your ideal client. So you're not just the spray and pray method. You actually are catering towards a certain group of clients that are going to start, following you.
And it's very important that you have a marketing strategy. Like Travis said, the spray and pray, throwing mud on a wall and hope it sticks, that way really won't get you very far, at least as quickly. It's all about strategy and really knowing what you're trying to go after. It's almost like knowing what your vision is and how you're going to get there. And then you break up the content. You're basically creating stepping stones for your ideal client to take on this travel to get to the end goal that they're trying to achieve, or you're trying to get them to. So here you go. So here's Truth. I like to keep all my social media stuff together. True Social. If you guys haven't had it yet, it's right there. But let's go into Instagram. So I'll just run through it real quick. You got to have a good bio. Your bio is going to tell everyone what it is you do. So once you actually get someone to watch your reel, they click on it. What does it actually say? Does it actually say what you're helping people to accomplish? Which, if someone wants to see my video, they happen to be a real estate agent and they read this, they can actually solve one of my problems. And then that's when they'll actually probably start looking around and seeing what else I'm about. And there's really 3 categories I keep it around. I try to educate, inspire, and educate, inspire, and empower, and make someone feel empowered with the help that I'm giving. So just little things. So the first thing is what you do. The next thing is kind of the how you do it. And the last thing is anything you want to do, like what's the call to action? Where do they need to go? whatever the case is, what's the next step that they would do to interact with you. So think of this as a little mini funnel. So if you don't have that set up yet, I would suggest strongly to set it up. Very
This is
simple.
one of the business accounts, right? You have to
Yeah,
flip
it's a
it over
business
to the
account.
business account.
Exactly. And honestly, each business account that you create kind of gives you more or less flexibility when it comes to actually using sounds, is what I realized. Like if you're a dog grooming business and you put like your business owner and whatever the category is, you actually might be limited on the actual sounds you can kind of find. Like it, for instance, say I'm on Reels and I'm looking at this home, right? And I click the little bottom right corner. Those are the sounds. Now, sometimes I can, so if I wanted to save the audio because I like it, I'll click save. Now, for instance, if I was a business account that was restricted, whatever, for whatever reason, that save option wouldn't be there. So the way I like to do it is for real estate agents, I just like to say, like, just classify yourself as an entrepreneur or a creator. And you pretty much have like unlimited, like you don't really get restricted a whole lot. It's when you actually become like that small business owner, like type person, is when you get those restrictions on you. So if you keep it as entrepreneur or content creator, you should be good to go. And let me see. So you actually set that up, I think, in the edit profile section. Yeah. So in the edit profile section, I'll show you again right here, edit profile. When you scroll down, you see you have your category. So that's where you would pick your category. And then you have all these different things right here. So I always just pick entrepreneur. I tested a bunch of different categories, and I realized that entrepreneur was kind of like the one where you could pretty much do anything on. It doesn't really restrict you a whole lot. So, so with Reels, so this is your home button right there that takes you to your feed. Then you have your search options. You get your explore page. I'm pretty sure everyone goes on here. And then the next one is the Reels tab. So this is kind of like the TikTok FYP button. So you can easily just scroll through and see different Reels as you go through. And then that's your main profile right here. So when you actually want to create a Reel, you're just going to hit that little plus key on the top right. And then you have all these different options. We're going to select Reel. So with Reel, there's two things you can do right off the bat. Is actually, you can see me. This is weird. So when you have a Reel, you can either just do the straight talking and talking to the Reel and just talk into it, right? So when you record, you can talk, or you can silence yourself and you can just select the audio. And when you select an audio, we're just going to click this one. Pick it. Come check this. So now that we have the audio selected, when I start recording, anything I say is going to be, you're not going to hear what I say. It's just going to put the music on top. So if we record, come check this. When I talk, you're not going to hear me actually talking, only on Zoom. So when you see, so what's cool about this is, if you're doing like a house, let me take this off. If you're doing like a house walkthrough and you just collect the sound right off the bat and then you record, for instance, my desk is dirty. So but we'll click on this, select the song, click done. And then that's where a lot of people will just play the music and then do what I see a lot of popular people do is they'll do a lot of the scrolling through like that. And if you're going to do like multiple shots, for instance, like if I hit the Reel record button for 3 seconds and then find another angle, do another 3 seconds, what I find is if you keep videos and you do clip changes, keep it like every 2 to 3 seconds. You want to know a secret of why Coco Melon is so popular? It's because they're always changing shots of the angle for every 3 seconds, which actually isn't good because that's how kids get ADD or ADHD. But because on all these video content platforms, if you keep your videos around 3 seconds per clip, then you're changing it up enough to keep the user engaged. If you have one shot that just goes for like 7 to 8 seconds, you're going to kind of lose the people and they're going to kind of fall off. So if you're doing a house tour and you want to keep it an engaging video, just think of it as 3 seconds, like 3. And when you actually think about it, 3 seconds is a long time. Like 1, 2, 3, boom. And then the next shot, 1, 2, 3, boom. Like that gives it enough time in between shots to make it an engaging piece of video content. So that's how you add in your sound. Now let me just get rid of this clip. So that's how you use your audio button. And we can even take it up a step further. And so say you wanted to plan out your video content. So say for instance, if you hear the sound, let's hear it one more time. Come check this. So you hear how she says, come check this. So say you want to hear, like you want to lip sync it like, come check this. You want to do something like that. But then you don't want to mess around with the timing and you want it to cut off exactly at the time where like the beat drops. You're actually going to hit this little timer and it's going to you're basically going to create, let's see, is it this one? It's got to be that one. No, or is it, I don't want 60 seconds. I'll show you right now. Should be. No, I hit the wrong button. I think I did this backwards. Yeah, get rid of this. Come check this. So what you would do is, come check this. Let's see. Come check this. So what you would do is, oh, this is gonna get annoying. So what you would do is you would edit the clip. So you would select the clip that you edit, and then you would just find. Come check this. Come check this. So then we would just click on save. Let's see. We'll go back. Click done. Come check this. So then you have that little clip saved. So I'll walk you through what I did again, real fast. So I created my clip, but then I have extra stuff that I said. If I want to kill like the last second and a half, then I would click on this, click on next. And then what I would do is I would, so you're probably going to have like 4 or 5 clips on here. And then you would just click that icon and you would just drag and drop to where, come check this. Come check this. Sorry, it's hard to talk over the music. So you would actually just, and that's how you do simple editing. If you're trying to get perfect and cut off the dead space, you would just go here and click on it and then cut off the dead space. Let me go back. And that's kind of like the next level of video editing, but it's very simple to do. It just takes one try. Just play around with it. That's how you would play around with it. Let me delete this sound. The next one right here on the next thing is the 1X button. So a lot of people are like, well, what the heck does that do? So when you hit 2X, you're actually speeding up the video, but when you're actually recording, you're actually slowing down the video. So the best way to put it is if you're trying to like lip sync, or you're trying to do like any type of thing with your voice, and you're trying to actually like, I don't know, sing something, or you're trying to dance with something, you'll actually slow down the sound that's coming through the audio, where it sounds like, and you're able to actually keep up with the video background music or noise or sound. And then when you actually play it back, it plays it at kind of like a double speed. Here, I'll show you real quick. Let me actually find an audio that would work good with this. So we'll just pick this one. So we're at 2X. So when you hear me recording, it's actually going to slow down. and it's going to be, I'll be able to keep up with the music. So if there's like something in a song that you have to do something fast in, or and you can't keep up with it, slow down the audio so you can keep up with it. So when you actually hear it played back, and that's a bad example, but basically if you're having a hard time syncing yourself to the music, the easiest way to do it is to slow down the music to keep up with it. So hopefully that makes some sense, and you could do it 4 times. This is really advanced, when you're trying to do all this stuff, you're trying to do some crazy transition. I think I'm trying to remember which one, but there was a TikTok clip that required like very good coordination, and I couldn't keep up with it. So I slowed down the song, and it looked like I actually had good rhythm. But that's if you're like trying to do dancing and stuff. So I'd probably say like 20% of the time you might use this. 100% of the time you're probably going to select the music icon. And then this one is a timer. So this is just setting a timer. So that way, let me cancel this timer out. I got too much recorded already. So this timer right here is, I didn't go over this last one. So right here, TikTok allows you to do a 15-second reel, a 30-second reel, or a 60-second reel. So 15, 30, 60. So the easiest ones you can do is 15 seconds. If you can create a video, the good number or the magic number on a video is anywhere between like 7 seconds to 12 seconds. But if you say you want to talk about it and you're like, hey, are you struggling on buying your first home? You want to, kind of talk about that. You'd probably want to set up a minute-long one, and then just record until you can't talk anymore, which will probably be like 45 seconds. But at least you get that room. That doesn't mean it's going to play for a whole minute. It only plays up to what you record it with. And then everyone knows the Instagram filters. So if you need that filter, it's definitely there. Let's see. How are my lips? Oh, what did I hit? So everyone loves an Instagram filter. I never use filters. I just keep it raw.
Yeah, me too.
But a lot of people will use, I think this one's a popular one.
Oh, nice.
So that's a popular one. And so you have your 15-second, 30-second. So that's how you select the different timing. If you end up recording and you're like, oh, why am I not getting enough recording the time on here? That's how you do it. And then the timer, this is if you just want to, so your timer is going to be, if you say, for instance, you want to keep it hands free. So you put it inside of like whatever phone holder you have. And then you need a timer to get started. You're going to click that and it's going to count down. And then you're like, okay, I'm ready. And then you start recording. And then the timer, you can also select it to where you want it to cut off at. So now on TikTok, it's actually a better timer. This timer isn't as great because sometimes the audio will play and you're able to sync up the timer with the audio. This one's not as good as TikTok's, but it's the same concept. And then if you wanted to add any other images, you can add images there. So you can do like a little slideshow where you can show multiple images. So we can add that one, and then we edit the clips and we can add another one. Let's see. Let's do that. I'm just gonna mess around with it.
So real estate agents that you see on Instagram that are doing well and more than likely generating business from it, what do you usually see them, what kind of content do you see them posting usually?
Yeah, so the content I actually see them posting a lot of is actually of their showings, like flat out, like the showings. Like if you look at this one, you can see 2,000 likes. I'm just gonna pick. They got 61K followers, but if you look at all their top performing videos, like, well, this looks like more of a interior design slash home improvement type.
Like an upcoming flip maybe or something.
Yeah, but should be able to see a lot of real estate. So what I see on real estate, is a lot of home walkthroughs. And then look at this guy. So if we're gonna, I like to, what I call is like funnel hacking. So what I do is, I see exactly how they're creating content, and then I look at how I can create something like that, but in my own way. So it looks like he has 5 ways for real estate contract in Georgia to terminate. So he has the 5 bullet points. Now, the reason why he has this much content written is if you look at his video, it's playing. If I'm reading this, the video is still playing in the background. So what that in turn does, it actually increases the video watch time because I'm reading, but the video is continuously playing. So that helps feed into the algorithm that the video is actually getting engagement and has a longer view time, because the kind of think of it, the more you write, the more you're going to read through. And that helps to keep someone on the video on repeat longer. So when I'm looking at this video, he also has good lighting. Oh, I hit the wrong button. He has good lighting. So you can see how the lighting from the windows coming in. If you're recording any videos, try to do it next to a window. That's the best way you can do it. Now, what I would have probably done is I would have probably had the camera facing from the window inward, and then my face have more of that natural sunlight, at least over like 60 to 70% of my face. Not so much where the window's behind me, but I'd rather put the window in front of me. And I could show you kind of what the difference is real quick. I didn't mean to unplug. I'm an idiot.
No.
I'm so used to unplugging my phone after I get up. So,
So do you think that maybe walkthrough videos and community walkthroughs and things like that probably get better engagement than an explainer video?
I'd say yes, because like I said, it kind of ties into building the dream. So when people see these beautiful homes, these beautiful walkthroughs, these beautiful environments, they kind of get into that, they tap into the emotion. And when you're tapping into the emotion, people are just gravitating towards watching that longer. Where, maybe you're giving some really good educational content, but it's not really resonating because it's not really taking someone away into like a dream state. If you can really tug on the emotion, really marketing is all about psychology. If you know how to tap into the psychology of people, you're better off at getting better engagement. So here I am. I'm just kind of looking. You see how like a little shadow on my face, like it just kind of whatever. But then I go to my window, and then you can see how, well, it's actually a gloomy day outside, but you can see how my face brightens up. It's a little bit brighter. I even have a ceiling fan in my background, which actually creates movement, which if I make recording the video, we'll probably get a little bit more engagement because people are, as long as you have some type of movement, people are gravitating towards that. So that's why it's important to use your natural light around you. You'll be able to get better, look better on video with the natural light. Another good point of content is like the walkthroughs. And honestly, the easiest way you can do it is if you're looking at someone, like look at all the top real estate agents that you see out there. So look at this one. This one's got 12K views, just some transitions. I actually don't like these types of photos. They're too like quick, and I'd probably slow it down. This is a little crazy on how fast it's going through. I'd probably do it every 2 seconds, not every second, every blink. This one actually does like videos like these where you have like just something in the background, like some movement or just something in the background, and you put like notes like this, actually gets a lot of views. So you can see I actually test this out, and I just created this. I was at a beach house one day, and I just created this video. I was like, I wonder if it's gonna like actually get some views, and it got 3,500 views, and it literally took me 30 seconds to do. I just panned my camera around and I just wrote whatever was on my mind. And then this other one got 1,700 views. And I was at work, I was working at home, and I actually just wanted to take a break because my brain was getting fried. And I just, took a moment and showed gratitude and just wrote whatever I was feeling. And I just did that, and it actually got, 1,700 views.
So with that,
if you look at,
so what you're saying there basically is if you're posting to Reels, it's not going to just your followers, it's going beyond that. Correct?
Yeah, it's going beyond that. It might initially go to your followers, and depending on how they engage with it, then it kind of goes in this bubble philosophy where it hits your sphere first, and then once it gets good engagement there and it's worthy enough, it goes through a next round of like a tier 2 round, and then if it gets good engagement there, then it just kind of blows up.
Okay. So, I mean, that's the benefit of Reels versus just posting a video then to your page, right? Your Instagram page, is that it's going to go beyond.
Exactly.
So if you don't have a lot of Instagram followers, this is how you can get more Instagram followers and get your video further out than just your Instagram followers. Exactly.
And a lot of the top this is actually 13,000 views. I just popped it up and I was like, here's a tool. It had a good headline. I just wanted to share a tool. And this is probably a quick video, like literally a 7-second, and it's that simple to get views. Like it's not hard to overthink, or it's easy to overthink, but really, here's a great one. So this one, you could see a walkthrough. This is probably the 3rd or 4th walkthrough we've seen on my feed. And you could see that you see these images and you're like taken away to like, oh, this is cool. Like, I kind of want to know more about what's in this house because it takes me to a dream state. And so when you look at it, I got a real estate feed or construction feeds, but you could see here, like, if you look at these videos, they're about 2 to 3 seconds long, if that. Like this, a lot of good quick transitions and a little swipe through. So when I look at a video like this, I'm not looking at like, oh wow, this video is cool. I'm looking at like, okay, how long between different shots, the angles that they're coming in, what are they focusing on? And then I'll look. So this one doesn't really have a long caption. They probably could have went a little bit better with the caption. But the next thing I wanted to also mention was, notice how there's no hashtags here. So the frame of mind used to be like, oh, I need to load my post up with hashtags. Well, what we've come to find out is really, like, you don't really need a lot of hashtags. You probably just need like 3 to 4 different hashtags. Give Instagram some idea of what you want to like what content this is, but you don't necessarily need to load up on hashtags as much anymore, because if you start loading up on hashtags, it kind of confuses the algorithm more than actually helping the algorithm. So there's some posts where I've only kept it to maybe 3 to 4 different hashtags, if that, just to kind of give it a little boost. But what I'm realizing is the more I do, it doesn't really help me any much more. So you don't have to stress out over hashtags when you make reels as much, because what it comes down to is just make good content. That's really the strategy, is good content. And what is good content? It's content that is simple. Like, you don't want to overcomplicate your content. Like, you don't want to have to think you have to write a thesis paper about real estate. Like, you just want to take them on the journey and then show them why your job is so awesome. That's really how I look at it. Like, I just want to show people how awesome it is to be a home buyer, or I want people to see how awesome it is to be a real estate agent. Or in my case, I want to show people like how awesome it is to be a marketer for real estate agents. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I think it's not very complicated. Like, when you create a reel, you only have like 4 buttons to choose from and filters to choose from. And then how you go about putting those all together, you actually have pretty much endless possibilities. It's really about the content you create. So don't go away thinking like, oh man, like, I don't know if I can do transitions and all that stuff. Like, just make a video, just the record button is right here, and you can put a sound over it. You don't even need to talk. You could just make a video with you not talking and just select a sound. And you can even,
so if you're a little shy, that's a good way to kind of break in potentially. Maybe if
exactly,
you're doing a walkthrough video or wanting to show a feature of a home or a view or something like that, just throw some music behind it and show the view, and you got yourself a reel.
and if you don't know what music to pick, honestly, just go to your Reels tab, just click on your Reels tab and go through, like, maybe spend 5 minutes and going through your feed, and any video that you actually feel like inspired to like, click the bottom right sound, click on save, and then use those sounds for your own reels. If I can hit the button. So the way you do it is you save the sound, you click on audio. Now you're going to click on the saved button. And these are all the sounds you saved that you can go back to and include them in your new video that you create. So that way, you never lose track of what sounds are technically trending. But I don't like to think of it as trending. I just like to think of it like it's a sound I would like to use for mine, that I see it already working for someone else and it could work for me. So rather than me having to guess, I don't know what sound to pick. I don't know that. I just spend 5 minutes just going through, and whatever sound I see, I match the sound with the image, and I'll just be like inspired to make it on the spot. Now that's not a great strategy. I suggest, sit down and have a game plan, but a lot of times, like, it's okay to kind of go off the cuff and, just create on what you see based on if you're inspired to create. So when I scroll, I was very adamant about producing content probably about like 3 to 4 months ago. But I've just been so busy that I haven't been able to dedicate the scheduled time to post. So like every now and then I'll be scrolling for a little bit, and when I see something I'm inspired by, I'll just be like, okay, I got to make a video on this, and I'll just do it. All hands on deck, and I'll just make it happen. So, if you have any questions, let me know, and I can dive deeper something else. Or if you have any questions on like, how can I make this? If you even need help with your first reel, like, just hit me up, call me up, email me, and I'll spend, a good 10, 15 minutes just walking you through how to make your first reel. If you're at an open house and you're like, I don't know what kind of videos. I do suggest though that everyone gets an iPhone, because honestly, like, the video quality on an iPhone is probably the best out there. And a lot of people are going to say like, oh, I have my Google, or I have my Android phone that takes great photos, and they do take great photos, but a lot of people aren't utilizing it in the right way. And I've given up on Android. I can't get on board anymore. Like, iPhone's just too easy for me to work around. And when it comes to also sharing videos, my iPhone camera and video, like when I send it to someone that has an Android, they look at my videos and it looks all pixelated. Like, it doesn't convert it as well. It's honestly annoying to text an Android user.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you're able to see how simple it is. And if you have any questions, let me know. And
it sounds like you should just utilize Reels more than just posting the video to your page, because it's going to go a lot further. And I think if you're looking for that gratification of getting more likes on your real estate content and stuff like that, and more views, then Reels is definitely the way to go.
And what's also
beyond your followers.
I love Reels because one thing only is I'm not good at writing long form captions. You see all these Instagrams and their posts, and they have some beautiful written post out. I don't like writing that long. It takes me too long. Like, it probably takes me longer to write a caption that's that long, that detailed, than for me to just pick up a phone, create a video, get 8,000 views.
Yeah,
it's just not in my wheelhouse to write out those long captions, to give that much detail, and to create a post, and to have those graphics going, or to find the time to make a beautiful post like these Instagram influencers. I just like to keep it real, and it's a lot easier for me to get views with video than it is for me to get views with posting. And that's just I just use that to my benefit.
Yeah. So keep it simple. don't worry about all the filters and everything else. And, you know, if you can't think of something that you want, like an explainer video or anything, you know, people love to see kitchens, bathrooms, views, nice pools, you know, things like that. And so, you know, if you're out showing homes, or maybe you need to go preview a home in order to, you know, see something cool, focus on that for your first few ones and kind of get used to it. You know, that's easy stuff. Throw the music behind it. You don't even need to talk. Just keep it real simple. Just record and make a quick little snip of a really cool view, or a nice kitchen, you know, remodel or something like that. People love that stuff.
And follow the real estate agents, the celebrity agents, and see what they're doing. You know, like the
Yeah.
Ryan Serhants, anyone from Selling Sunset, you know, $1 Million Listing, like follow them and see what they're doing. The Allman Brothers, you name it. You know, if they're big time, like a lot of their followers are from the media and the TV, but they do post good content. And you can kind of, you know, funnel hack those pieces of content to make it your own. Would be the biggest advantage to you. Ryan Serhant tells a lot of wacky stories that gets him a lot of engagements. So I'm sure you all have a story that you can share that's just like way off the cuff. And those are the stories that get people interested.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate it. We're gonna have to wrap up, but that was great info. That actually makes me want to use Instagram a little bit more. So I'll be probably playing around with that next time I'm out showing homes, or doing a coming soon or something like that. So,
and the next thing is you don't have to use the Reels function to get started. You can just go on your phone, create small clips of video on your phone, and then later that night come back to it and then make the content. You know, which requires a little bit of editing, but it's really just, you know, the only editing you're gonna have to do is just how to slice a video down to a shorter form, you know.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Which I could probably do another webinar on how to slice your video content, you know, say
probably
have like
maybe a deeper
10
dive
videos.
one.
Yeah, and then how to easily slice it up, which is that was probably the biggest roadblock and obstacle I had when creating video content, was I didn't know how to slice and edit my video content that I already pre-recorded. And so, but I realized that was a huge objection I had. But once I figured it out, I was like, why didn't I make it a bigger deal than in my head than it actually was to accomplish?
Yeah,
so,
maybe we can, but I say, you know, challenge yourself this week to, you know, put out a couple reels, you know, and like I said, just keep it simple. You know, a quick walkthrough, views, kitchens, bathrooms. People love to see design trends and other homes and things like that. So that stuff will go far, probably farther than your explainer videos. Those are good to sprinkle in to show authority, but you know, people want to see awesome looking stuff, or even not so awesome looking stuff. So
yeah, that's true. Those houses that are on fire, that are on sale, and they're still going through a bidding war, like those people, if it gets engagement, whether it's good or bad engagement, you know, bad publicity is good publicity, right?
Yep. Yeah. People love even outdated stuff. I show pictures sometimes of just, you know, a straight out of the 60s or 70s house that's had no upgrades and shag carpet and stuff. And I don't know, people love that stuff.
Yeah, so everyone has an opinion, and it's up to us to pull those opinions out and have people share it. Engagement is where it's at on Instagram.
For sure. So, right on. Well, we'll let everybody go. Hopefully everybody has a great week. Go try a reel or two, and give us a call if you need anything.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you. Have a great week.
All right. We'll see you.